Okay, in last class we have discussed about types of distribution with feeders. Okay, today we shall parallel feeders also. And today we shall discuss about the effect of disconnection of neutral in three-phase four-wire system. In three-phase four-wire system also we have discussed, right? It is used for the distribution side, and most of the domestic loads are single phase and three phase four wire distribution system is used. Most of the load is a single phase load. Okay, so single phase. So three phase four wire distribution system is used. Generally, star point of the load is joined or the star point of a distribution transformer or generator. What they are saying is star point of the load is joined to the star point of the star to star connection. Okay, that is what they are saying. According to the Kirchhoff current law, sum of the current entering a node is zero. This we have studied in third sem itself, right? According to Kirchhoff current law, sum of the currents entering a node is zero, and its neutral point is node, then a balanced system. There is no neutral current here. If neutral point is a node, if then that is the case, then a balanced system, for a balanced system there will be a no neutral current. Unbalanced load conditions. For unbalanced load conditions, results current flow through neutral to ground, so that sum of the current equal to zero, it is maintained. In unbalanced load conditions, what happens here? The current flowing through the neutral to ground. Current flowing through the neutral to ground. If you calculate sum of the currents, it will be equal to zero. Single phase. Okay, the neutral, and this is a disconnected neutral. These are the three phases R, Y, B, and this one is neutral. Here single phase, how we connect means one is a phase line and another one is neutral line. Okay, like that it is a single phase. We will connect single phase load, one line and one neutral. Floating neutral condition. This is the diagram of floating neutral condition. If the neutral is disconnected, if neutral is disconnected, opened or lost at any of its one side, then what happens? It loses its reference ground point. Such a neutral is called a floating neutral. What they are saying, one phase and one is neutral. One second. Okay. If the neutral is disconnected, opened or lost at any of its one side, then it loses its reference ground point. Such a neutral is called floating point, neutral. The various effects of disconnection of neutral are the potential of neutral point is always changing and not fixed. Here, the various effect of disconnection of neutral. If disconnection of neutral, what is the effect of that? Okay, due to that, what are the effects going to happen? The potential of neutral point is always changing and it is not fixed, and the neutral point will float up to line voltage, and it causes a large changes in the currents and phase voltages. It creates the situation where power flow entering in phase returns to the remaining two phases, which is dangerous. What happens is here, for example, if these three lines, okay, for example, this is the R and this is a N, okay, this is a N, okay. If the current, if it is disconnection, then it creates the situation where power flow entering in phase. Power flow entering in phase returns to the remaining two phases. If the power flow, whatever the power flow in phase, that will return to other phases. If neutral is somewhat it is a problem, then it will, whatever the current it should go through the R, that will go to the Y and B. That will get a severe overload. It will become over voltage. Okay, that will happen. If that is the case, it creates the situation where power flow entering in phase returns through the remaining two phases, which is dangerous. Okay. If neutral is disconnection, it will whatever the leakage current or overcurrent, that will go to the other two phases. Okay, it will return through the through that. Okay, connected load may get damage. Is disconnection if overload, over voltage, over current, if any variations in voltage or current, then the connected load may get damaged. If the neutral is disconnected, the customers may receive a serious electric shock if they touch the equipment body. Hence, it is necessary to identify broken neutral as a thumb. The neutral to ground voltage must be 2 voltage or less. The disconnection of neutral is very unsafe condition and must be corrected as as early as possible. What they're saying is if the customer is that is supply is going to the customer. Okay, supply will go to the customer. If disconnection happens in the neutral side, what happens, over current it may go, and it is not safe to the person, it is not safe to the customer also. The customer may serious electric shock due to that, due to the disconnection of neutral also. Here, if they touch the equipment, then it may get shock. It is necessary to identify. It is necessary to identify. Okay, yeah, to identify the broken neutral has a thumb rule of the neutral to ground voltage must be, it must be 2 voltage or less. Okay, next AC distribution. In early days, DC system won transmission distribution electrical energy, but in case of DC system, the voltage level cannot be changed easily unless we use machinery, which may not prove to be economical in many cases. What they are saying is DC system was used for generation, also transmission, distribution, but what the it should be in a economical, right? But in case of DC system, the voltage level we cannot step down or step up easily. Okay, it cannot be done easily, so it require the voltage level cannot be changed easily. It require we use a rotating machinery, which may not prove to be economical, which will be costly. Okay, rotating will be costly in many cases also. This is the major disadvantage while working with the DC. Later on, with the development of transformer, AC system has become a predominant. Nowadays, large power systems in the world are using a AC system rather than DC because of many advantages of an AC system. Instead of using DC system, many are going with many. We are using a daily AC system only. Okay, but maybe the components are working with the DC, but we cannot the transmit or distribute the DC voltage. Okay, DC distribution, AC transmission, DC transmission we cannot transmit because it will be costly, and also some nowadays they are using a DC transmission for only some places, okay, not particular for all places. It is they are particularly used for some cases only. DC transmission they have used. Distribution calculations. Here AC distribution calculations and DC distribution calculations are different in the following respect. How we can say here, in case of DC system, the voltage drop is due to resistance only, which in AC system it is due to the combined, okay. In DC system, the voltage drop is only due to the resistance, but in AC system, it is due to the resistance, inductance, capacitance, three of them, okay. In DC, only due to the resistance. That's why in voltage drop less in DC, okay. Voltage drop is high in AC system when you compare with the DC and AC. The voltage or current are added or subtracted arithmetically in case of DC system, whereas they are added or subtracted vectorially in case of AC system. Voltage and current are added or subtracted arithmetically in case of DC system, but in AC system we cannot add or subtract arithmetically. It should be in a vectorially, okay. Required to take into account the power factor while making calculations in AC system, which is absent in DC system. Power factor is not considered in DC system, okay. Here in the AC system only we consider the power factor. Power factor while making calculations in AC system, we consider the main factor, power factor. But in DC system, they will not consider the power factor here. The distributors are normally tapped at different points with the loads having a different power factors. Next is the AC distributors with concentrated and uniform loads. In here, two cases it is divided. And the power factor can either be considered with respect to receiving end voltage or with respect to load voltage itself. First, we shall discuss the power factor referred to receiving end voltage. Someone can admit them who is waiting in the okay, fine. The power factor referred to receiving end voltage. Here, consider an AC distribution PQ having a concentrated load of I1 and I2. You can observe this is a DC distribution line, okay, AC distribution line PQ, okay. This is the distribution line. There, two loads are connected, concentrating loads I1 and I2. Here, I1 and I2, two loads are of Q and R, okay. It is a tapped at Q and R. This is a figure of power factor referred to receiving end voltage. Let VQ, which is the voltage at the receiving end. Okay, VQ voltage. Here, VQ voltage is at the receiving end. Be taken as a, it has been taken as a reference vector. The power factor at R and Q are cos phi 1 and cos phi 2 with respect to VQ. They are lagging. System section. One second. R1 is a resistance of section PR. R1 is a resistance of section PR, and R2 is the resistance of section R and Q. Okay, from here P to R there is a ZPR, that is impedance, and from R to Q ZRQ, there is another impedance ZRQ. Okay. R2 is a resistance of section RQ, and X1 is a reactance of section PR, X2 is a reactance of section RQ. The impedance of section PR is given by, that is ZPR is equal to R1 plus JX1. Impedance of section RQ is given by ZRQ is equal to R2 plus JX2. The load current at point R is given by, that is I1 at angle minus phi, that can be written as I1 cos phi 1 minus J sin phi 1. Similarly, the load current at point Q, okay, similarly what we have written, load current at point R, uh, at point Q is I2, okay, I2 at angle minus phi 2, lagging, so minus phi 2 is equal to I2 cos phi 2 minus J sin phi 2. The current in section RQ, that is the section in current, the current in section RQ is nothing but I2. IRQ is equal to I2 cos phi 2 minus J sin phi 2, and the current in section PR is given by I1 plus I2. How we can say? By seeing the diagram itself, we can say that here from R to Q only the current I2 will flow, but here from P to R I1 plus I2. Okay, from P to R the current will be I1 plus I2. So they have added two currents here, I1 plus I2. You'll get the I1 cos phi 1 minus J sin phi 1 plus I2 open bracket cos phi 2 minus J sin phi 2 close bracket. The voltage drop we need to find out here. The voltage drop in section RQ is given by, that is IRQ into ZRQ. Okay, they have substituted. And what about the voltage drop in section PR is given by, here two currents is there, that is I1 plus I2, that is nothing but IPR. Okay, IPR into ZPR. Substitute the IPR value. IPR value is this one, right? IPR value this one, and this is the ZPR. Okay, so the sending end voltage VA is given by VA, that is VP is equal to VQ plus VRQ plus VPR. That is the sending end voltage is given total voltage. Okay, VPR, VRQ, and next VQ. Okay, this is the sending end voltage. Sending end current is given by IP is equal to I1 plus I2. This is the corresponding phasor diagram. You can observe here. This is the phasor diagram of that. Here, so VP, this is starting point, VR second point, and this is the final VQ. Okay, this we have taken reference. So they have, so it is starting. Okay, so between VR and VQ, there is some losses of voltage drop. We can say that for that I2X2 and I2R2. Between VP and VR, some losses will be there due to resistance and also due to reactance. That is what here IPR into R1, IPR into X1. That is losses. Okay. What about here? The VP between VP and also between IPR, that is a phi s. Okay, and between VQ and the I1 phi 1, and between this one between VR and I1 it is phi 1, between VQ and I2 is phi 2. Okay. See, this is the diagram. Two loads, I1 cos phi 1, I2 cos phi 2 we have written. Here this is a Q and this is P, and this is R. Okay, then PR, from P to R, what is the angle from P to R? This is a IPR current and this is VP. So from here to here, total sending end angle, okay, for phi s. And what about the here from VR to, from VR it will be only I1, okay, from VR to I1 only phi 1, okay. So the angle is phi 1 between VR and I1. What about the at Q? It will be I2, okay. So between VQ and I2 there is a phi 2, okay. Now you have understood, right, between the angles voltage and current. The drop I2R2 is in phase with I2 while I2X2 is leading by 90 degree. The vector sum of VQ, I2R2 and I2 X2 gives a VR, that is the drop IPR R1 is in phase with the current. And what about the IPR? While IPR X1 is a leading by 90 degree. Here the vector sum of VR, IPR R1 and IPR X1 will give the sending end voltage VP. If you add these overall, then you'll get the sending end voltage VP. Okay. Next is power factor referred to respective load voltages. Here, consider these power factor with respect to their respective load voltages. Now phi 1 is the phase angle between VR and I1, and while the angle between phi 2 phi 2 is the phase angle between VQ and I2. Phasor diagram under these condition will be here. One second. Diagram of that, okay, between VR and between VQ and I2 same as it is phi 2, okay. Between VR and I1 it is a phi 1, okay. Here there is an angle between VR and VQ, that is alpha. Factor referred to respective load voltages. Now here the receiving end voltage VQ is the reference. In last class of last case also we have taken VQ as a reference phasor. Okay, the vector sum of I1 plus I2 will give the current IPR. The drop I2R2 is in phase with the I2 while I2X2 is leading by 90 degrees, same as in the last case also. Sum of VQ, I2R2 and I2X2 will give the voltage VR. The drop IPR1 R1 is in phase with the current IPR while the drop IPRX1 is leading by 90 degree. The sum of VR, IPR R1, IPR X1 will give the sending end voltage. This is same sentence what we have used in the power factor with respect to receiving end voltage. Here now voltage drop is, the equation is different here. VRQ, okay, VRQ. I2 cos phi 2 minus j sin phi 2 into R2 plus jx2. That is I2 into ZRQ. Okay. Next to voltage at point R1, voltage at point R, VR vector is equal to, here voltage drop due to VQ and drop in section RQ also. Okay, so VR at angle alpha, see that I1 vector is equal to I1 at angle minus phi 1, I1 vector is equal to I1 at vector minus phi 1 minus alpha, because with respect to voltage VR, this is with respect to voltage VQ, and here finally I1 vector is equal to I1 cos phi 1 minus a alpha minus alpha minus j sin phi 1 minus alpha. With respect to q, vq we are writing, so we should consider the angle between here. So they have considered here alpha. We are writing with respect to load. Okay, here we are writing the voltage drop equation with respect to the load voltages. So now IPR is equal to usually I1 plus I2. So I1 cos phi 1 minus alpha minus j sin phi 1 minus alpha plus I2 cos phi 2 minus j sin phi 2. This only this you consider for VK. This you consider for VQ. Voltage drop in section PR is equal to IPR vector into ZPR vector. So VPR vector is equal to I1 cos phi 1 minus alpha. Same, you substitute the value IPR and also ZPR. Okay, this is totally IPR value and this is the ZPR value. The sending end voltage VP is given by VQ, voltage drop due to the that is Q, VQ plus voltage drop in RQ, voltage drop in RQ and plus voltage drop in PR. That is the total equation VP is equal to VQ plus VRQ plus VPR. Okay, this is the phasor diagram. The problems we shall discuss in the next class. Okay. Just you remember the equations, or you can write directly by seeing the circuit. By seeing the circuit, we need to remember what they have asked in problems once we shall glance. Okay, in next class we shall discuss in detail. They have asked here the total resistance and reactance of the distribution they have given, and they have asked to find out the total voltage drop in the distributor. Then what they have used the formula you observe. First they have by and first they have calculated the impedance between the 2 points, and next they have calculated the current, and finally the equation is voltage drop, that is Vz by between 2 points Iz by into Zz by I into Z. Just between each section, we need to find out the voltage drop and we need to calculate the overall voltage drop. That is what. Okay. When you consider the total distributor, they have added the two sections of voltage drop and finally they have. There is no need to remember the so many formulas for this also. Okay, in next class we shall discuss the problems in detail.